Welcome to Young Adult Expression Through Media, a comparison of cultures. We will be discussing 3 different countries, America, Japan, and Nicaragua, and how they're using the media through social media, advertising, and music to affect the youth in their culture.
Social media is very popular among youth and young adults, Facebook being among the most popular, and Instagram and Twitter following close behind as primary sources. Political activism is also a common use of social media in youth and young adults in the U.S. Hashtags are a form of expression often related to controversial or political topics. News is also something highly shared on social media among young adults. Whether it's the latest national event or something related to a political party, news is highly shared on social media in the U.S.
In Nicaragua, youth use social media for one of their main news sources, like in America. However, the greatest use for social media in Nicaragua is political activism. Nicaragua utilizes social media mainly for social action, but musicians and art expressed over social media is another popular use. The musicians, like Luis Enrique, use Facebook as a means of publicity and knowledge, but they are also part of the popular culture on social media.
We also see a wide variety of entertainment being used in popular culture in Japan society today. Japan has a variety of extremely popular social media sites that are well known, such as Facebook and Twitter, but a newer one called Line is a newer concept that's grown very popular in Japan. The primary use of Line, for those of you who don't know, is a way to share information and news relating to the great Eastern Japan earthquake tsunami that hit March in 2011. But it grew into a more expansive social media site used by many all over Japan. Well, through text messaging, instead of using words, they use pictures, such as popular culture from a TV show they like, to send a different way of communication. This is a very popular way that youth in Japan are using to communicate nowadays, and it may not be familiar to some, especially in the westernized culture. So switching from social media to advertisements, Japan advertisements is another way that media is expressed all over the country. Many advertising companies target youth. For example, makeup and beauty advertisements that target specifically young girls. The beauty standard seen all over Japan is usually skinny women with a lot of makeup on. They also have a very certain youth appeal to them, making them look like a very childish look.
Similar to Japan, in America, we also have a high influence on youth in media and advertising. Teen self-esteem can also be negatively affected with photoshopped images in magazines, billboards, and models, and the unrealistic American beauty standards.
Dissimilar to both America and Japan, Nicaraguan advertising is heavily regulated and focuses more on post-revolution freedom and current political, economical, cultural, and social activism. Although the Nicaraguan government may be scared or wary of adapting to the use of media as a form of revolt and activism, the government is assured, for now, that the people are sticking to the ways of their country and not homogenizing to an American popular culture. We now move to the topic of music as a message. Music is one of the strongest forms of media, and it reaches youth especially easily. In America, Japan, and Nicaragua, youth and young adults are listening to music constantly. I know us 3 are always listening to music. In Nicaragua, the music has shifted over the years to what it is now. However, the artists have remained a constant over the past several decades. Alejandro Mejia is a music activist, and his family, along with other key musicians, stood by the protesters during the 1980s revolution, and their music reflects the thoughts and opinions of the Nicaraguan people during those controversial times.
In relation to Nicaragua, the 60s and 70s music at that time was based on social movements and issues. In today's music, it seems that it has kind of lost that expressionism with the youth culture. It is now often seen less about a social aspect or social movement and is more focused on beats or sounds.
When someone mentions the topic of music in Japan, they most likely think of J-pop, which is a short for Japanese pop music. There are countless number of bands and pop groups that form their sound and appearance around this concept of J-pop. These groups have a very pop idol look to them, and they try to look very young and cute, especially in all-girl bands. We also see a new genre of music forming in Japan, a combination of J-pop with heavy metal, kind of pertaining to what Alejandro has in Nicaragua, such as the bands with Baby Metal and Lady Baby, which are two very popular bands in Japan with this look. Our final thoughts, as seen from our examples in Japan, Nicaragua, and the United States, media can be used for news, social activism, and promotion of popular culture. Social media is growing in popularity all around the world, specifically in the youth population. Youth are also negatively and positively affected by advertisements in these countries. Finally, we see music as a message, and it's being used universally all around the world. All these countries differ in usage because of unique cultures and similarities that are bringing the world together day by day.